Hi, it's Phil from StormTheCastle.com, and this is a tutorial on how to grow bonsai from seed, which is actually one of the more difficult ways to do it because it takes such a long time. What you're growing is a tree, and well, you know, a tree takes a very long time, so we're talking a commitment of years with something like this. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, if you don't know much about bonsai, let me tell you a little bit about bonsai. Sometimes people think that bonsai is a very particular kind of tree. You buy a bonsai tree. Well, actually, that isn't accurate. A bonsai is an art, a way of manipulating a tree to keep it miniature and make it look like a full-size tree, even though it could be only a foot or 2 feet tall. So to do that process, you can actually use any number of trees. You name it, almost any kind of tree can actually be done in this process, although some types look much better than others, and sometimes they're easier to use than others. So when you think about getting yourself, if you want to think about growing from a seed to a seedling, you should do a little bit of research and find out what kind of a tree seed that you want to use. What's going to give you the kind of a look that you think you'd like to see. And so what I'm doing here is I have 4 different types of seeds that are very good for the art of bonsai. A Japanese Pagoda, a Japanese Cedar, a Tamarind, and a Chinese Elm. So those are the 4 types that I will be planting. And I'm actually going to plant 4 of each, so I will have 16. So that way, over the course of time, I can track the seedlings and watch them, and then prune them down to the best ones that I want. So let me go over some of the materials that you need. It's pretty standard stuff. With your particular type of tree that you're going to bonsai, just look up what needs to be done with it. They might have different requirements, particularly to get that seed to germinate. You know, some you have to actually put in the refrigerator for up to a couple of weeks to put it into its dormancy period, and then you can plant it. Others you can plant right away. Some you should soak in water. But the type of tree that you decide on, you know, do a little research on that type of tree. And I have some of this information. I will be posting some of this information to my website. And then follow the specific directions for that type of seed. So now I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm going to do here and the materials. I have you know, just some plain plastic pots for now that I'm going to use. Eventually I will transfer the bonsai into you know, ceramic dishes, but that'll be a ways away. I have some small pebbles. I have water. I have a bonsai soil mix. You don't have to have bonsai soil mix. I recommend it. And I have a spoon just for spooning out my soil. And I have a notebook. And I'm going to keep a notebook with these, so over the course of time I can track their progress, keep track of the types and how they're doing and how I water them and whatnot. And I have some tags. Because I have multiple plants, I'll have 16 all. I'll keep a tag in each one that says the type of plant it is, the date it was started, and any other relevant information that I think I might need. So I recommend you do something like that. Keep yourself track of what's going on, because a year from now or 2 years from now, you might not remember. So you have to. And I have my seeds. So from there, all you have to do is pour a thin layer of pebbles, stones, pea stones, something like that, into the pot, and then fill it almost all the way up with your soil mix. Plant your seed according to its particular directions. Could be anywhere from just under the soil to an inch deep, and each type of tree seed will have its own specific recommendations. And then water it, and you're good to go. So I'm going to do a little bit of that, and I will show you some of that. So I've already poured some stones in this one. And bonsai, once they start to grow larger, once they start to get older, they oftentimes require daily watering. So that's something you have to think about if you want to grow bonsai. Daily watering, because there's very little soil, and a lot of the soil is taken up by root. So there's no water retention in the soil. There's no way for it to retain any water over a long period of time. So you have to add water almost on a daily basis. So that's just something to consider. That's the #1 reason why bonsai fail, is lack of watering, because people don't realize you don't water them like you would a house plant. You water them, you know, their watering needs are very different. About plant selection, you have to decide right away, although you should decide right away if you're going to have an outdoor bonsai or an indoor bonsai, because that will of course make the difference in which type of tree you choose. So give that some consideration. Me and mine are all going to be indoor, so I chose plants accordingly. So it's really quite as simple as that. And let me start with the tamarind, and this gets planted 1 inch deep. So I plant my seed 1 inch deep right in the center there. And then I water it. And I will water it some more. I'll let the soil absorb that. The soil is very dry. And I'll label it. So now I just repeat this process until I have all 16, and I'll show you a little bit more. Okay, I'm just about done with this process here. I've planted most of my plants, most of my seeds, and the Chinese elm, the tamarind, and the Japanese pagoda. But the sacred Japanese cedar, the recommended way to start that out is to soak it in cold water for 12 hours. So I have a group of seeds here just soaking in cold water of the Japanese cedar, and 12 hours from now I will plant them in the remaining 4 dishes. So that's pretty much it. So now the name of the game here is watching and waiting, and it's all about patience when it comes to bonsai, and that's actually part of the whole appeal to bonsai. Is it's a long-term process that takes time, but if you want to try to do it, I would go for it. And you don't have to buy any kind of special seeds. Just in your local neighborhood or the local park, you know, when time comes for seeds to drop, you know, grab some of those from maple or oak or redwood or any kind of tree. You can grab some and see what happens, and have some fun with it. Thanks. Lots more stuff on my website at stormthecastle.com.